Hansel.
he already chowed down. What? Yeah, we're gonna pass this off to Martin. Martin's gonna talk about Greta and Hansel.
Hansel?
Now, before they became so PC today, you know, it was before the feminist movement happened. When they were kicking off their musical career, they were better known as Hansel and Gretel. You know, he wrote that song "I Killed That Bitch." Now, it was always a creepy story to me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it was.
It was always like something.
There was nothing not creepy about it.
Two kids just banished out into the woods because their parents wanted to kill them.
Yeah,
and I don't know how many different versions. I thought,
I grew up with one where the kids were just naughty. They would just wander in the woods and got lost.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I knew there was a version where it's like either the parents were poor and they told them they had to leave and fend for themselves, or they had to go help out.
Yeah, I
or
heard
they
that
were
one later.
Kill them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were told to leave. Yeah. What did you hear?
Of Hansel and Gretel, I actually had to read a book back in middle school called The Real Story of Hansel and Gretel.
Shit.
That
sounds like a porno.
Dog, it was probably one of the most harsh things I've ever read in my life. It was based in Holocaust period. And
Jesus. Like the story's not bad enough already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gretel gets raped in it. It's terrible.
Jeez.
In high school?
Yeah, this is a real ass book. It was a rough book, and it generally like goes through like the breadcrumbs were kind of like a way for them to pretty much pacify the fact that they were lost during the Holocaust, but it didn't lead to anything.
Who assigned this to you, man? Is that teacher still employed?
Yeah, did you go to high school in prison?
It was definitely that was like my first real tough read, and
God damn.
no, it's like, but it was a really good book. But you definitely winced a lot of the time. So I went from candy huts and bad witches to soldiers. And
Okay, that ain't got none on the versions
Okay.
I've seen, because I thought all the stuff I seen was creepy. Because I've seen a lot of versions. I ain't never seen that version.
The Real Story of Hansel and Gretel. Like, I'm not even bullshitting you.
Like, there's a stop motion version out there that scared the out of me at one time.
Gretel! Gretel, don't let her nab you! Let's run away from here!
Shit, is that Russian? No, I guess they were speaking English.
Yeah,
but
speaking
damn.
English, yeah. No, I think they dubbed it over. That's a 1954 stop motion version of this. That shit creeped me out right there. But at least they weren't in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
You know, it's
How is that the real version of Hansel and Gretel when Hans Christian Andersen wrote this way before there was any such thing as a Holocaust?
I don't know. That was just the name of the book.
Or I mean, not Hans. I mean,
Okay,
the brothers Grimm, but still.
Think of it this way. It's like you had Ghostbusters the movie, and then you had the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters. So maybe it's something like that. But of course, we all know who the real Hansel and Gretel were.
Me and my sister, we have a past. We'd gotten a taste of blood. Which blood?
Where Hansel and Gretel were pretty much the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know,
Or Jeremy Renner just can't put those arrows down.
Jeremy Renner was Hawkeye. He was just Hawkeye, man. Maybe this was his audition reel or something.
In this movie, he's Hawkeye, and Tag, he's Hawkeye.
I remember seeing this movie, but I forgot it. You know, was this critically okay? Was it panned? Do you remember?
It was not well received, but not
Not
panned so
poorly
much.
either.
Okay.
It was just kind of everybody's like,
Yeah, so it didn't get the series of movies that it thought it was probably going to get, like part 2. You know, the
Right.
witch is back and shit like that.
Right. Which is, like I said, when we first got the invite sent for this, I was like, okay, I guess they did decide to make a sequel.
You know, in this day and age, they say, okay, at all this time, it's about time for Gretel to get her due. It's about time for her to lead the way.
Well, I think it's more about somebody wanting to make a movie, and these characters are public domain.
And then there's that. And they're free. Everybody wins. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for not Hansel and Gretel, but Gretel and Hansel. So it turned this into more of a horror movie, which we've seen before. There was even a movie called I don't know, I forgot what it was called, but it was about a horror movie about the Tooth Fairy.
Oh,
years ago.
Right.
So is that what they're doing here?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Now the one thing the director said was that he was, even before the movie started, he was like, listen, you know how you see a movie that's about a fairy tale, but then you get into it and it's sort of not, or it's allegory or this or that, or
yeah.
He's like, that's not what I'm doing. He's like, I am remaking this fairy tale, which he does. It's that story of Hansel and Gretel, where it opens with the legend of this witch being young, how she came to be sick, parents, prayed to, got told, go into the dark place, embrace this this witchcraft, your daughter will be okay. But then the daughter, from that point on, she's this dark figure of a witch, and they're like, I think we up. You cut to Hansel and Gretel, and it's a thing with the mom going. Right off the bat, she's sending Gretel, who you can see is older than Hansel. Like normally they're about the same age, but here she's clearly older than her little brother, and it's played by Sophia Lillis, who is the teenage Amy Adams.
Yeah, she was in It.
It. But they send her pretty much on a job interview with this guy who's got makeup on and a mole and a powdered wig and all, like, so, is your womanhood intact? Because if so, then maybe I have something for you. And she's just like, all right, this.
Man, it sounded like a pimp.
He was clearly was playing a whore out and probably break off a piece himself. So when she go back to her mom and say, like, yeah, that wasn't on the up and up, her mom is like, you should have took it. Cause
that was some good money.
Yeah.
A job's a job.
Yeah,
like Keith David said, it was work.
Exactly. You like, the two of y'all, you can't stay here. There ain't enough food, nothing, ain't enough money. If you want to stay here, that's cool. I got a job for you. First thing you need to do is start digging your graves.
Oh shit.
And she's like, all right, I guess I'll leave and take your brother with you. And if you don't, I'll chop his ass up. And she slams an axe on the table. It's like, all right, I guess we're going. And it's harrowing because it's these two young kids who have no money, no resources, who don't know how to feed themselves, wandering the woods. They find the witch's house, peek in, see all this food because they're starving. And then she takes them in and she's all nice. But, I mean, she's an old lady with black fingers.
Yes. Yeah.
So, from that point, nothing good is going to come from this.
Of course.
The director, he delivers on this fairy tale, but it is a horror movie. And I would say, like, you might look at this trailer and go, like, all right, well, it is a horror movie in that kind of quirky Tim Burton way.
It looks more like the Witch or the Witch.
Exactly, yeah, because it's not like a Blumhouse horror movie. It's an art house horror movie. It's much closer to the Witch and the Lighthouse. This guy and the director is come on, what's his name? Oz Perkins. And he's the son of Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates in Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I think he was in it when he was a little kid, in the shower scene or somewhere in there. But this guy is a master at putting this film together. Like, the production design is amazing on all of it. You just watch it, the way all the shots is set up, the color, the lighting. It's almost, the story is almost secondary to everything he's doing here with his camera work.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it's never boring. It really does leave you with that sense of dread the entire time.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know something else? I look at it and I say, you can tell we're still staying very true to the Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
Very much so.
I was looking at the scene where they enter the witch's house, and the trailer doesn't show too much of it. They show a spread on the like, looks like a feast on the table. But they, in this clip, they show like just how all the pastries and candy is laid out, which is very true to the story.
Stay where I can see you. They have a slide.
That food must smell delicious, because ain't no way I'm going to a house look like that. I don't care what kind of donuts and shit you got to spread out for me like that. I would not do that shit.
Hansel.
he already chowed down. What? Nah, man, this seems you're right about the production on this.
Oh, it's from beginning to end. It's not like, oh, okay, this is his money shot. All through it, it's like this. It's just watching. It's an hour plus, hour and 20 minutes, hour 30 of watching an art piece. Almost.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All these shots seem not only be to compose well, but all of them seem to have some sort of like somebody's doing a painting or a piece of art.
Yeah. I mean, man, I know we've been harping on it, but just coming right off of Tyler Perry, it's just watching this. I was like,
you keep capping on that mother, man.
So I was like, man, this is what I'm talking about. And you watch this movie, you know he didn't have nearly the money that Tyler Perry has to do this.
Yeah.
But it's really like any young filmmaker could watch this and learn how much you could do with what you have. But he talked about how when he was putting it together, and he had people coming to him and say, okay, so you kind of want it like the Vivitch, or you want some stuff from the Vivitch and the Village.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I don't want any of that. That's what those movies have. I'm looking for something different, and I don't want to tie it into this, and we don't want to have those kind of villages, and I'm not bringing in dragons and shit. I want this to be unique, and he pulls it off.
It definitely is a unique vision, man. I'm looking at how things have a combination of fantasy, but also, there's some rich people who have houses, modern houses that look something like that, angles and shit.
It's funny because I see that house, and all I kept thinking, like, this is that movie that I can't believe didn't come out from A24.
I kept thinking that too.
Yeah,
now, this is Orion Pictures.
Yeah. But it's almost like it got snuck in with that house, because every time I look at that house, I think of the A24 logo.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks really interesting, man. I really appreciate what you're saying about the attention to artistic detail that they do. So what makes it scary then?
Music choice is great, and you feel so much sympathy for these kids right off the bat, because there's a lot of them wandering through the woods, and like, I forget, you got to get to the witch eventually, but what sells you on them going into that creepy house and eating that food is just minutes before that, they were starving to death. Like, there's a point where they eat mushrooms that they know are probably poison, but they're just so hungry.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at least they'll put me in my misery if it does kill me. Yeah, man. Is this rated PG-13 or is it rated R?
I don't think it's R. There's no profanity in it or no gore.
That's even more impressive. They can make this scary without having to go to R-rated level.
Yeah. It's just it's a real sense of dread, and it's all there. You know she's the witch. You know some bad shit's gonna happen.
So she's not even trying to put on that grandma shit. Shit.
I mean, she's trying to do a little bit, but looking at her, you're like, yeah. It's just that they're out of options.
Yeah, whose grandma is that? Dracula's? Yeah, so she's bad right from the beginning. Yeah. No, I definitely want to see this. Yeah. I did see some blood in there. Is it like a tame sense of gore in here?
It is tame, and sometimes things happen in their visions. So with some of the visions, because with Gretel, because it really does fall on her being the older sister. She's the one who sees everything. She's trying to protect Hansel. He's a little kid. He doesn't know sometimes.
Yeah, he's just trying to eat, like a little badass boy.
So yeah, while all those nights she's sleeping over there, sometimes she's having these visions, and some of the stuff is like, wait, did I see something? And is this a secret chamber, or did I just dream that?
Yeah, shit, maybe grandma put something in her food.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that get revealed about the food and everything.
Yeah, this looks beautiful, man. This looks beautiful.
Oh, you'd love it.
Yeah, no, I gotta check this out. I might see it this weekend, man. What would you? Well, I don't know if you finished.
Oh no, I'm pretty much finished.
What would you give it?
I mean, a general audience, I might say a high matinee, but if you're a film lover, it's a low full price.
Is that for you?
Yeah.
What's the drawback here? Anything?
There's, it's just a point where I thought, well, it's starting to feel a little repetitive, but shortly after that, it kicks into where it's going.
All right, got me excited then. If you ever want to get something to help you out before the show, there's a snack that you should get. You probably have heard of before. Have you heard about this? It's a shirt from dtmerch.com. Don't you look at me?
Yeah, no,
you look at me, goddammit.
I knew what you were doing. I was saying goodbye to our guest.
You say hello to this shirt right here. This classic Black Tears Away logo. Yeah, man. Put it in your cup. Drink it up. And we also got the hats, the shirt, the phone covers, the gift of choice. Oh, man. Don't nothing give you an energy boost like dtmerch.com.
That grape soda phone case.